Welcome to Onslow County Today. I'm your host, Lisa Whitman-Grice, and you can see once again we've taken the show on the road as we are here at Onslow County Animal Services, and we are joined by some really precious furry friends. We're also going to be joined by lots of other friends from here in Onslow County. We'll be talking with Tyler Moore from Onslow County Animal Services. We'll visit with Matt Mano from the Onslow County Public Library, Mary Downing from the museum talking about Wetland Wonders Camp. We'll talk with Lauren Santoyo about Freedom Festival and all the festivities planned. Emily Morrison will introduce us to the Master Gardeners program. And finally, a visit with Whitney Jezik about back to school, immunizations, and physicals. As always, we're so glad that you're here with us for Onslow County Today. Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is a new face to Onslow County Today, Tyler Moore with Animal Services. Tyler, thank you for inviting us in today. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Now, Tyler, we also know you're not just new to Onslow County Today, you are new to Onslow County Animal Services. Tell us when you started with us and what your official title is.
Okay, yeah, so I started on April 18th as the shelter manager. And I'm excited to see what we can do here.
Now, you've been here not quite 3 months, and we're ready to kick in. We are at the new fiscal year, so there's some changes you wanted to tell our viewers about in terms of adoption protocols as well as your fee schedule. So let's talk a little bit about those new protocols.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have some new adoption fees as well as a new process. So we started an application process that is integrated into our system. So people can go online, look at the pets that we have available, and right there at the bottom there's an orange button that says, "Are you interested?" And you just click that button and fill out the application. So when you come in, make your appointment to come in, you'll get like an approval letter and a how to do things in your email. So that way we can get in touch with you and start starting that process a little easier and helping you along the way.
So really kind of expediting things, but also now that, you know, and some of that is certainly probably COVID related, that not being able to just come in the doors at any time, you can really see everything online at this point.
Yeah, so we, after COVID, they did go to straight appointments only, and they seem to really enjoy that because they can have that one-on-one experience with the citizen. So we open the doors now and we do allow walk-ins, but the process there has changed for walk-ins, that they have to put in the application first. So they can't do just walk in and adopt anymore. They have to put their application in and they can make an appointment for the next business day.
Okay, very good. Now you also, along with that application process and the appointment process, with this new fiscal year, we're also going to see some fee changes.
Yeah, so the director did a really good job at changing some of the fees. So we have increased our puppy adoption fee from $140 to $195 now. Okay. And we also have decreased our cat fees. So it's about $50 to adopt a cat that is on our adoption floor. And then we are now allowing citizens that if they have like a stray cat they found and they really don't mind the cat living there, they can bring it to us, and 72 hours later they can adopt it for $20.
And you know, that's one of the things we've talked about is and I think that we've sort of explored all kinds of options about what to do with that feral cat population, and a significant part of that is just ensuring that they are spayed and neutered.
Absolutely. That's like the biggest population control that you can put out there, is just fixing as many feral cats or community cats that are out there to kind of keep those kittens from coming back. That's mostly what we're doing, and that'll end up, in my experience, I have actually seen it reduce 50% in 5 years.
That's amazing. So the other thing we want to talk about is that notion of I want to adopt one of these wonderful creatures, bring that, give them their forever home, as we say. Right now, what does your population look like? And certainly, as the show airs, that's going to ebb and flow and change a little bit.
Yeah, so July timeframe, the summer is our biggest, influx of animals. So we're seeing about 70 cats and kittens right now. And 55 dogs in our population today. Okay.
And when we come in, when we put in our application and we're approved and we're ready to adopt, what does that fee sort of cover?
Yeah, so it covers their spay or neuter, their microchip, their deworming, all their vaccinations up to date, flea and tick medication. So we try to cover as much as possible. For our dogs, we do include a heartworm test for them as well.
Very good. Now, you talk about, this is sort of the highest population time of year, sort of that census of creatures, of little creatures goes up. And some of that is attributed to the actual summertime. And we did want to talk a little bit about some summer safety reminders, because people are out and about, they're moving, doors are open, kids are home from school, so doors are left open, gates are left open, all of those things.
Yes.
So what are some top of mind things we all need to remember?
Yeah, so, like you said, everyone is out and about. Outside more often, dogs run off, get in trouble, or cats, same way. So really, microchipping your pet is the utmost important way to identify your pet. So like if we go out and we find your pet and we microchip scan it, we can immediately just take it back home versus bringing it here. So that's the first line of defense for like if your pet gets out. So with this 4th of July coming up, it is our highest influx of dogs that you will see in the entire year. So July 5th is our most busy time of year.
And they're scared.
Yep, they weren't put up. So like during the fireworks, best thing is to crate your pet. If they are afraid of them, crate them and get them calm into a calm environment. Make sure you have 2 doors in front of them before they can, get out and things like that.
You know what, that's a new point that I don't think I've ever heard before, is the idea of 2 doors.
Yeah.
So make it out the front door and I'm gone. But if there's a little bit more delay there, it's a little more challenging.
Yes, absolutely. So, there's so many different things, and you'll start seeing our Facebook page start putting out more informational stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to ask you, is if I want to know more about the new adoption protocols, the new fees, how to adopt. You all are really good about social media postings, so you're going to have all these summer safety tips online as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Tyler, we want to also always remind people exactly where you're located and the main telephone number that they can reach you.
Yeah, so we are located at 244 Georgetown Road in Jacksonville, and our main line is 910-455-0182. And we actually now have an email address that people, the citizens can email, and it's just animalservices@onslowcountync.gov.
So a real generic email there so that they can reach your team.
Yep, so like if you lose your pet, or you found a pet, or you're interested in adopting, you can email that, and it goes to all of the staff members here, and so we are all on the same page about what's going on.
Fantastic. Well, Tyler, it is terrific having you join us on Onslow County today. Again, thank you for inviting us in.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to future visits.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all coming.
Welcome back to Onslow County today, and joining us now is a familiar friend, Matt Mano from the Onslow County Public Library. Matt, thanks for being here.
It's so great to be back.
So, you've not been doing anything all summer.
We haven't been busy at all.
At all, except maybe we have been. So let's talk about what's been going on at the library.
That was sarcasm at its finest.
I gotcha.
So we have been slammed with summer programming, but we are loving it. We kicked off our summer reading program June 1st. It is still going on. We're at our halfway point. We will wrap up July 31st, so there's still plenty of time for people to participate. And speaking of participation, we have been getting a ton of it, so something I got to share. We are over 1,200 people registered so far for summer reading.
And I think that, you know, oftentimes we've thought in the past about summer reading is, oh, this is what we do so our kiddos don't hit that summer slump, right?
Yeah.
Which is true, but summer reading is for everybody.
It absolutely is. Almost 500 of our registrants are adults alone. So it's fantastic. There's a lot registered, and we also have over 160,000 minutes logged. I mean, you can get bonus points for attending programs, but that doesn't even include that. So it's super exciting for us to just see how much these kids and adults are reading.
And they're registering. So the great thing is, it's, you know, we've all done paper logs in the past, but you have this cool interactive app, if you will.
Yes.
Tell to us about if we still have time to register, and then how do we log those minutes?
Absolutely. So the State Library has provided us with the Read Squared app, which is fantastic. Parents can register the whole family under the app. You can use a web browser too, so you can use it on a desktop computer, you can use it on your phone, and you can register your whole family. You log minutes for kids, you log books for adults, and you can log secret codes if you attend programs. So it's a lot of fun. There's some missions in there. So as you do the missions, some of them might be to get to know the library better or get to know our digital resources. So as they go through those missions, they can check off or write in what they did for it, and then you get bonus points for that too. So you can log your minutes, which is great. You get your digital badges, but then also you get chances to win prizes. So that's our little incentive, you know.
Well, you know, those prizes though, I mean, I've seen them in the library. They're gorgeous. They're great prizes.
We got an awesome lineup this year, and of course if you've seen our Facebook page, we've been posting some of our winners. The kids are loving it. One of them was a DIY slime kit. We have some robotic kits, of course gift cards, and our grand prize at the end of July will be our Kindle Fire for our teens and adults.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Kicked off already 1,200 registrants, 160,000 plus minutes already read, still a month to go, prizes, programs, and then when everything wraps up, you want everybody to come to and see
Rockstar Magic.
Now, I mean, this is sort of a staple in the summer reading program. People look forward to it every year. And for Magic fans out there, this is a great show.
Yes, and Chris and Neil do an awesome job. We didn't have them last year. You know, we were still kind of coming back from COVID and everything. So we're super excited to get them back this year. And we'll have, of course, 4 different areas around the county that they'll be performing, you know, one to kind of pay homage to each location. So not quite at our branches for some of them, but they'll be in the local vicinity. Swansboro Middle School, the Onslow County Government Center, Steeds Ferry. So be sure to be on the lookout, check our website. If you still want to register for summer reading, you can do it at ocpl.onslowcounty. That's our website, ocpl.readsquared.com.
There you go. And you really, so folks might say, well, why aren't we doing Rockstar Magic at the libraries? There are
enough room.
It's huge. This is a big show.
Yes, yes. They require a lot of space themselves because they're doing awesome magic tricks. But then also we want to be able to fit all the kids, all the parents in a way that they can distance themselves as well, so they're not shoulder to shoulder.
Right. So giving everybody plenty of room and plenty of fun.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, summer reading underway. I know you're already thinking about the fall. And already plugging away what's coming next. We hate to think about back to school because it feels like we just got out, but that's what's on the horizon.
It is, and we have some great August programs coming up to plan ahead. You know, we'll have back to school bingo at Steeds Ferry. We'll have our back to school bash at Richlands. Our teens at Richlands are sponsoring an ice cream social at the back to school bash. So they're certainly doing their time in volunteering. So they've been working hard on planning it. So we're looking forward to having the community come out and, you know, having our patrons get some of those books for their summer reads, but also if we have any of our kids working on the Battle of the Books, then they'll need to get those out and get started on that list too.
All right, and last but not least, you mentioned digital resources. We might not be traveling far, or we might be getting on a plane and heading off to some place, you know, tropical or exotic and fabulous. Yes. What do we need to know about are digital resources that we can use when we're off and away?
For sure. Wherever you can have an internet connection, you can have books and audiobooks. We have the Libby app, Libby. It's on the Play Store, it's on the Google Store. You can download Libby with your library card. You can log in. You can check out up to 5 books at a time, return them, check out more. You can check them out for 7, 14, 21 days. It's just like an actual library, except everything is digital. You can read right on the app. It works with the desktop browser as well. And then we also have Hoopla. So if you're interested, Libby, because it's like a digital, like a real library, but digital, there are sometimes loan holds and stuff that you have to wait for. Whereas Hoopla, there are no holds, everything is instantaneous checkouts. Wow. So whatever you want, you can get it right then. Hoopla is 5 checkouts a month per card. Okay. So same thing, you log in with your library card, select OCPL, and you are ready to roll.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you for letting our Onslow County Public Library come to us and be wherever we need it to be.
Absolutely.
And we look forward when you come back in the fall to knowing those grand totals for all that summer reading.
We look forward to sharing it.
Thanks as always.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Mary Downing with the Onslow County Museum. Mary, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So on our last visit, we talked a lot about the return of the museum's summer art program, but we also have another program coming up. Tell us a little bit about Wetland Wonders.
Yes, Wetland Wonders is our environmental science camp that happens at the Environmental Education Center in Sneads Ferry.
Now, what is the age group for those?
It is 8 to 12.
Okay, so 8 to 12 at the Environmental Education Center in Sneads Ferry. What are the dates for the program this year?
August 8th through the 12th.
So really, you know, the idea that you're stretching your programming, you've got summer art all through July, and then able to stretch things a little bit into the later summer. So registration has already happened or is just starting now for that program?
It starts July 1st.
Okay, so we're just kicking it off now. And what's the fee for the program?
It is $75 per child.
So $75, what can they expect for that $75?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of STEM related activities. They get a t-shirt, they get guest speakers. We have some meteorologists coming from the National Weather Service and from WITN. Also, we are going on a field trip to the Onslow County Emergency Operations Center.
So the theme is the weather.
Weather.
And
yes.
Meteorologist. And a field trip to the Emergency Ops Center, and STEM activities. When they plan their day, what should our families look at? What time do things start? Do they need to bring lunch? All those kind of logistical things.
Yeah, it starts at 9 and ends at 4. Campers should bring their own lunch and a snack.
Okay, so bring your own lunch and a snack. Plenty to drink because you're going to be outside, so lots of water.
Yes.
And then field trip day, bring a snack that day as well, or lunch that day?
Yes, bring a lunch because we will probably have our lunch outside at a park.
All right, so bringing back Wetland Wonders at the Environmental Education Center. For a lot of our viewers who might not know about that site, give us a little bit of insight as to what they might see just for a visit.
Sure, yeah. So the Environmental Education Center is a part of the Sneads Ferry Public Library. They're attached together. We have a gallery there where you can see all of the natural parts of Onslow County, learn about the natural parts of Onslow County. And we also have a nature walk and our outdoor classroom, which is beautiful.
Well, our kiddos can definitely look forward to spending some time out there with you. If people want to know about how to register for Wetland Wonders, what do we need to do?
You can look on the Onslow County Museum website or our social media pages.
All right, very good. And then the main number for the museum for people. Go ahead.
910-324-5008.
All right, so reach out to the Onslow County Museum, lots of social media postings. Yes. Website, and find out about Wetland Wonders. Give us the title because I love the theme that you picked for the program.
It's called How's the Weather?
How's the weather? Well, today it is hot.
Yes, it is.
And probably going to predict that for the next 6 weeks. But how's the weather? STEM programming for our kiddos who want to know more about meteorology and the science of weather and climate. Mary, It was fun having you here with us today.
Thank you.
I know you got to get back to the museum because summer art is on the way.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us is Emily Morrison with Onslow County Cooperative Extension. Emily, thank you for being here.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me.
It has been really a beautiful spring, and now we're into summer, and I know you all have been busy at the Discovery Gardens.
Yes.
And as I've driven by, things look beautiful.
Thank you.
It's just a beautiful place to visit. For our viewers who've not had a chance to get out there, they should definitely go see the gardens and the farmers market. It's just a beautiful sight. So
it is, yeah.
Thank you to you all who have done that. And a key component and a key part of that are your Master Gardeners.
Yes.
And you are here today to tell us you have a new Master Gardeners class starting.
We do, yeah.
And when will it kick off?
So the class starts August 23rd, and it'll run Tuesdays and Thursdays through mid-October. So it is a large time commitment, but you will learn a lot. So that's why I'm here to promote the class.
Excellent. Now, Master Gardeners, we want people to know exactly who the Master Gardeners are and why you want them to make this commitment, because it's not just about, oh, my petunias won't bloom. Mm-hmm. This is an intensive learning experience for people who really want to dig deep into gardening, but also there's a service component. So we're going to start with class kicks off in August. We want to know, first and foremost, if I want to be a Master Gardener, what is a Master Gardener?
Okay, yeah, so the technical title is Extension Master Gardener Volunteer.
Okay.
It's part of a statewide, it's actually an international program, but we would, if you take the class and join in Onslow County, you'd be part of the North Carolina Extension Master Gardener Volunteers. So we are connected directly with NC State University and NC State Extension, and so Master Gardener Volunteers are trained individuals with a passion for gardening and for helping others, and they basically help educate the county on gardening topics through a variety of outreach activities.
All righty, so if I want that to be my path, how do I register to take the Master Gardener course?
There is an application. It's 9 pages, but I didn't make it. It's a state application. Correct. So there's an application that's due by July 22nd to me that needs to be filled out, and that can be found on our website. And then there is a fee for the class, and that includes the dues that are paid to NC State University, and also includes our handbook, which is the textbook that we use to work through the class. And this is an excellent book. It's targeted for gardening in North Carolina, so everything's relevant to our climate, you know, what grows well here, things like that.
All right. So you get this intensive learning experience over those many, many weeks, as well as this handbook that is a forever resource, really. Mm-hmm. And you register, go online, and when would we know something? Pretty immediately if we've been accepted?
Yes, there's a pretty quick turnaround. So because once the deadline hits, I'll be making sure I order everybody's books and send out the course calendar. The other thing to know about the volunteer service is after the class, there is a 40-hour service requirement within the first year.
Okay.
So that's kind of the trade-off for getting all the education and becoming part of this awesome program, is then that volunteer service that you mentioned.
Now, when you talk about those 40 hours, is that in sort of just in the garden, or what role do they serve?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that our Master Gardener volunteers do in Onslow County. Obviously, the Discovery Gardens is a big component. We have our plant clinic, and that's where it's a staffed office where residents of the county can call with their garden problems and get some help. We have youth gardening activities. We have a big field trip in the fall called Growing Minds, where third graders come out and they learn about where food comes from and different topics. And then we'll go to different public events. And so there's a lot of different things. I can't list them all now.
No, but you're in the community, I think, is really the key thing, is that as Master Gardeners in Onslow County, you all and your Master Gardener volunteers are our go-to resource. I mean, whether, you know, it's a plant that is not thriving, or soil test, or what is this insect that is sucking the life out of my tomatoes, right? I mean, is that the sort of thing that you all hear typically?
Yes, yes. And we're all, even including myself, we're always learning, you know, new things that I had never seen before, you know, so it's a really neat opportunity to learn and also help others.
All right, so for those folks who are watching who want to be a Master Gardener, let's tell them one more time how they can enroll in the program, the registration process, and the fee. Okay.
Yep, so they can either come into the office and grab an application, or they can download the application off our website, the Cooperative Extension website. And then that application needs to get to me by July 22nd, and the course fee is $125.
All right. Well, Emily, I'm so glad you came out, got out of the heat a little bit today. But we thank you, and you know, we thank your Master Gardeners, because the service they provide to us really is just so beneficial to keeping Onslow County beautiful. So we thank you for that.
Yes, great. I thank them too.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Lauren Santoyo with Onslow County Park and Recreation. Lauren, thanks for being here today.
Likewise, thank you for having me.
So you and I have seen each other a lot this spring. We have been at every kickoff, launch, springtime festival, but now it is your time, Lauren, because this is sort of the pinnacle, the peak of all the summer goings on. It is time for Freedom Festival.
Yes, it is.
And I don't know, you all probably start planning Freedom Festival July 5th, right after the event, and just plan all year long, because this is really one of the biggest events countywide that goes on. Tell us what's planned for the 2022 4th of July Independence Day Freedom Festival.
We have 2 bands lined up at our events from 3 to 9 p.m. So at 4 o'clock, we'll have our North Tower Band playing, and at 7 is Darius, Mitchell, and the Professionals at 7.
All right.
Yes.
So live entertainment. And when people come out at 3, I mean, you got to find that perfect place in the grass to get your blanket. What other kinds of things are going to be going on for our families as they come and listen to the music and prep for the big event?
So for the kids, we have a kids zone. So Abram Amusements will be there.
Okay.
Yes, and we have 15 food vendors as well as 6 small shops as well.
So you can do a little bit of shopping. Did you say 15 food vendors?
15 food vendors, yes.
15, okay.
Yes.
And that includes what? Like
we
if
have
I'm planning my day.
barbecue, desserts, we have 3 snow ice vendors. So plenty of snow ice for everyone. And just plenty of food for the full day.
All right, so lots of food, but also people are welcome to bring picnic baskets.
Yes, they can bring food as well, just of course no alcohol and everything.
All right, so no alcohol. Make sure you bring your lawn chairs, a blanket, insect repellent, sunscreen when you're out there all day, and then of course Kids Zone. Now when they go to Kids Zone, are there fees for the rides, or is it
free? It's free for the community, so no need. Just make sure to have closed-toe shoes just for safety.
All right, so closed-toed shoes, lots of amusement activities, a little bit of shopping, live music, and then at 9 o'clock
we have our fireworks.
Fantastic. Every year, you all put on such a spectacular show, but lots of work goes into it. I mean, talk about your team over there, Lauren.
Our team is amazing. Katie, our director, is awesome. LaQuisha, my supervisor, is just she does amazing. So this is her, she helped, she did everything. So look, and I'm just helping her out along the way.
No, it's a teamwork, because you've got all of your guys there from parks and grounds. You've got people directing traffic.
Yes.
You want folks to have the best possible time, don't you?
Of course.
Now, as we plan for Freedom Festival there at Onslow Pines, we want to make sure that folks sort of know where that park is situated so they can plan their day.
So when they enter Onslow Pines Park, there will be volunteers directing parking. There will be parking along the 24, so they'll have plenty of parking.
All right, so got parking there, and you all are there off of Onslow Pines Road. I know that you make every effort also to make sure that all the neighbors are aware that this is coming.
Yes.
That this is, so you'll have a lot of signage directing folks, volunteers, and staff helping out.
And in exiting, it will be a one-way situation.
Okay.
So when they exit, it will be safety and everything.
All right, and oftentimes the North Carolina State Highway Patrol's out there, or deputy sheriffs, so that's awesome. Now, you're also bringing in a new event this year, and this is Battle of the Pines?
Yes, Battle at the Pines Car and Bike Show.
Okay,
Yes.
and where's it going to be located?
It's at Coastal Pines Dragway.
And what can we expect for the Battle of the Pines?
We're expecting some of the best cars at Onslow County. So registration, it's $30 for 2 classes, and then the day of is $40. We have our bike registration for $20 for 2 classes, and then the day of the event will be $30.
And what is the day of the event?
The day of the event is on July 23rd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
At Coastal Plains Raceway, or Dragway, on July 23rd.
Yes.
Battle of the Pines, a bike and car show.
So we're gonna look, there's gonna be some very nice cars and bikes there.
Okay.
So, and it's free admission, so that's nice.
So for folks who are just like, love anything fast and furious, right?
Yes.
That is awesome. Now, Lauren, you guys have also had summer camp going on
yes.
all year long, special activities. If people want to always know the fun and exciting things that are going on at Park and Recreation, what's the best way to know?
Follow us on Facebook, and then always call our number at 910-347-5332. Office hours 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or they can also go to onslow.recdesk.com to see our programs.
Well, fantastic. First and foremost, we're all going to break out our red, white, and blue.
Yes.
And get ready. You know what? It's always just great fun. Go camp out a little bit, find your little place, and enjoy the music, the food, and the fireworks.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us is one of our favorites ever, Whitney Jessic with Onslow County Health Department. Whitney, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
You know, we've visited quite frequently, especially over the last 2.5 years. But your passion, that I know your heart, is making sure that our children in Onslow County are the happiest and healthiest that they can be. So we want to talk about all those necessary immunizations that they need when it's time to go back to school. I know it's summertime, but we have to stop it, we have to plan.
Correct. Correct.
So let's talk about, what is it that you want our viewers, our families to know?
Well, first, not to wait. Especially if you are moving into the area and you're going to register your child for school and they're entering a North Carolina school for the first time. Not only will they need vaccines, they will need a school physical. It is the law in North Carolina. It doesn't matter if you're going to kindergarten or if you're going to have your 12th grade senior year, you have to have that. And you have 30 days from the first day of school that your child starts school. So when you think about that, if everybody starts school on the same day, everyone's 30 days ends on the same day. And we actually affectionately recall it suspension day, because if you don't have your school physical or you don't have those required state vaccines, then your child no longer gets to attend school until those are gotten.
So let's, the first thing we want to talk about is those back to school physicals. I mean, these are important screenings that cover a little bit of everything.
Yes, ma'am, they do. At the health department, we follow the Bright Futures, which is an all-encompassing, emotionally, physically, psychologically, hearing, vision, health and wellness, which is part of like your BMI, and what kind of chronic illnesses do you have? What chronic illnesses can we prevent you from getting? If you can't see, then you can't read the board. If you can't read the board, then you can't learn, and that's the whole reason why you're in school. If you can't hear, the same analogy goes along with that. So the physical exam, it is not a sports physical. We don't do sports physicals at the health department. Our physicals are a head-to-toe exam in a gowned visit so that we can assess all the parts of your body, and then there's screening tools that we use. Whatever your age is, there is an appropriate age or stage screening tool that we use for your learning development, your emotional development. If you, as you get older, there's some activities that we want to make sure that if you're engaging in them, that you are safe in your engagement of those activities. And those are all screening tools that we do at certain levels that are all age appropriately worded, and those visits are supposed to be that way.
Okay, and again, if we are being, taking those proactive measures, making sure that we are ready to learn and healthy, and just making sure our children are the healthiest they can be.
Well, public health is about keeping the well. So when you think about if you have early detection, you have early intervention, you have early assistance, then you have better health outcomes. And that's really about keeping the well. So if we can detect these issues or concerns or delays early, then they receive that assistance that they need, that extra minute or two in class, that moment of extra teaching time, or that place that they can go to take an exam. If they can't see, they get their glasses. And we connect you to the resources. We see uninsured, underinsured, undocumented, insured. We love to take your insurance. All of those things. And we're kind of a small space that we operate in, so you're not traveling all over long distances inside of our building. Right. And if you are new to the area, we're going to help you get your Medicaid if you need to transfer it. We're going to give you resources and tools to, we have a packet of information that has the dentist, the orthodontist, the eye doctors, the pediatricians, the behavioral health specialists, all in one packet. We call it our resource packet. Because if you're new to the area, how can you know where to go? Right.
So it's not just about the exam, it's about all the resources as well.
We are connectors.
There you go. Now, the other thing we want to connect people with is their immunizations and their immunization schedules, because it changes with every age, grade, and it is what we need to do before we send our kids to school.
And some states. We follow the CDC guidelines for recommended and required vaccines. So remember, we're public health, so we're going to offer you all the vaccines. We encourage you to get all the vaccines, but if you are a non-vaccinator, we will still see you. Okay. If you are a vaccinator, but you want to select or discuss with your partner or parent of the opposite parent that's not present at the visit about the vaccines, there's not a problem with that. We encourage, but we don't discourage and shame, and there's a big difference in that. We believe in vaccination, but we also are a respecter of person.
There you go. There you go. Now, when you think about that schedule, again, it's checking that and seeing what is required. But we also know that there are beyond that 12th grade year, as our kiddos graduate, and then they're prepping for that next big step in their life. And when you're living communally, like in a dorm, we want you to go and make sure you have those other vaccines as well.
Correct. As part of our process, I've been doing this for more than a minute, and some of my kids have gone to college, and it was really kind of neat to see their college applications. And some of them, because they were living in a dorm, they had to have a PPD, which is a tuberculosis skin test. And some of the schools were highly recommending the meningococcal B, which is, it's a bad meningitis. It's the one that you go, oh, well, I feel like I might be getting a cold, or maybe I just got a little bug or something, and within 24 to 36 hours, you're in an ICU and you're on a vent and you are really sick. It's the one that you start losing your limbs and your life over. And we have a vaccine for that. And it's a 2-dose. So we try to give you that first dose as you're leaving your senior year, and then the second dose before you go off to college. Because when you get into small groups of people, they share stuff. They share glasses, they share cups. It's kind of like being in a kindergarten all over again, but you're now in college and in a different environment. And you are in a multicultural environment. You've got people that are coming from all over the world to attend the university that you're attending locally. So a lot of countries don't vaccinate like we do. A lot of countries do not monitor like we do. And they don't have rules and regulations like we do that help keep public health healthy.
There we go.
So there are some checks in the box that a lot of people don't realize until you go, hey, did you know you have to have? So I always tell people, if you're coming to our state, go by your pediatrician's office or your medical homes and get a copy of your vaccine record, your immunization record, because it takes a long time to get them. Most private practices have actually hired agencies to manage the shipping, the printing and shipping of their medical records, and part of that is inside that. And never presume that the school that you just left, who is now on summer break, is going to have a staff to take all of those record requests and do them over summer so that you have your shot record when you come to the visit at our health department.
Okay.
And just because we use a North Carolina immunization registry, which is a state registry, it is not a national registry. And just because you have one in Florida or Ohio or Mississippi, it doesn't mean that they talk to each other. If you bring a copy of your record, we, however, will put it into the North Carolina immunization registry, and we give the school nurses permission to see it. So you can, when you come to get a physical, we'll give you all your immunizations and any labs or anything that you may need at that visit, and we'll give you all the necessary paperwork to take to the school, because we keep the asthma action plan on hand printed. We keep the Onslow County Schools medication and emergency medication plan on hand, and the transmittal form for both pre-K and K through 12, because we know sometimes people get that in a packet and they're looking at all the boxes in their houses and they're going, I know I put it in one of these.
It's here.
It's somewhere. So we keep all those on hand just for parent convenience. They just need to make that appointment and not to wait. And one thing that the health department does that a lot of providers in our area do not do, if you have 4 children, I will see all 4 of your children on the same day. Because if you're new to our area and you just started a job, it's highly unlikely you have 4 days or 4 mornings to take off. And I do that really as a public service, but most of all, I was a working parent once. I mean, I'm still a working parent, but I don't have little people. And that would have taken a lot of time and a lot of explanation in a new job.
That, as well as trying to get childcare for those children who might have to stay at home that day. When you take one at a time, a challenge.
It is.
And that's amazing that you know, that's, I think, the thing about public health is you think about those details and how things affect our citizens personally. You know, what is everybody's story? What's everyone's story? Now, the other thing that we definitely want to talk about, that people, you know, certainly in the last few weeks, we know that the CDC has updated guidance on our littles and COVID vaccinations. Very exciting time. Not only do we have the traditional vaccines that children would need, like Tdap, meningococcal. Right. We have the COVID vaccine for 6 months and up in both Pfizer and Moderna. And it is very exciting for the parents that want to vaccinate their children against COVID. We have people that have said, we have kept our children at home and we've homeschooled. And they giggle and they go, and I never thought I would be a teacher. And I'm not sure if I've been a really good teacher. However, I'm just so excited that they get to go to school now because they feel safer having their child vaccinated. We offer that vaccine 6 months and up. We have Pfizer and Moderna, both products. So if you're a parent who got Moderna and you want to have your 6-month-old get Moderna, we have that vaccine for you. If you were a parent that got Pfizer and you want Pfizer for your 6-month-old and up, we have that too. And it really is public health at its finest. I mean, I've never seen such a collaborative partnership as I did through the COVID pandemic. Nations came together, people came together to find a preventive for the better good. We never said you wouldn't get COVID. Right. We always said you won't become so sick that you're hospitalized. You won't become so sick that you're hospitalized on an event
and you're not so sick, hospitalized on an event, and die. Those were our promises when we were way back when giving, you know, hundreds upon hundreds of vaccines in our massive pods. Now we have a pod at the health department, and we can co-administer. So you can come for your school physical, you can get your traditional vaccines that you may need for that physical exam for your school entrance, and then you can get your COVID vaccine all on the same day at the same appointment. You don't have to have one for your physical, one for your vaccines, and one for your COVID vaccines. And you'll get printed information to document all of those pieces of each component of that visit in that same visit.
You know, I think that the only word that comes to mind when I hear everything that you do is just comprehensive.
Yes.
You take care of our families in a holistic way. And that's, you know, again, keeping people well and determining and intervening if we determine that there is something that needs a little extra attention. You're ready to send them to the right resource for that. Whitney, when people want to come in and get their vaccinations and get their physicals and immunize with their COVID vaccine, what do we need to do?
Simply just call the health department. You just call that mainline number and tell them, I need a well child physical. We do not do primary care. We do not do sick children.
Right.
We don't do sports physicals. However, we knock it out of the park from 2 years and up, and we even do newborn home visits. So we go into the home and see the new baby and the new mama, and we introduce them to us. We introduce them to the resources in our community and help them get settled and chewed up with a good sturdy foundation of knowing that the health department is there to help them, because we do maternal health. I mean, we'll see you when you're pregnant. We will see you when you're postpartum. We will help you plan your family. We have a teen clinic. There's just so many different things that we do at the health department to create this overall health and wellness of our community. Because if we have a healthier community, then we're gonna have hopefully lower insurance rates. We're gonna have fewer hospitalizations. We're gonna have better activities to attend, because there'll be more of us to attend, and we won't be afraid to go out and attend them because we know that our community is healthy.
Well, again, it just sort of overwhelms me when I think about that the mission is not, it goes so far beyond making sure our kids have their shots to go to school.
Exactly.
Right? It's so...
yeah, the health department is a big place.
So
it really
big.
is a big place, and there are so many people that are there that are so passionate about it, and it's a cool place to work. I mean, if you think about, all we do is try to help people make healthy choices, and we give them education and guidance, and they make their own decisions, and based on education and fact, and not fear-driven decisions. They are based on fact. Based on fact, and
based in what you want is best for those families. And so we are so grateful that you all are driven by that mission for quality of life.
Yes.
And for this happy, healthy community. Whitney, again, thank you. We remind people, make those appointments.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't wait early. Don't wait till the
there's
last
only 6 in a day, so I mean.
And there's only one Whitney.
There's only one.
So thank you for this, and thank you for all that you do for our families.
Well, I'm certainly not alone doing it. There's a whole team of people there. So, and thank you for having me, because if people don't know that what we do and how we do it, and the fact that if you don't have Medicaid, we'll send you downstairs to apply for it in the same visit. So, I mean, you can get a lot done in one child health visit that gets your child in school.
Well, make your way to that beautiful, happy building.
That beautiful building.
That beautiful building, and let's get our kids and make sure that they stay happy and healthy. Thank you for joining us for Onslow County today, and a very special thank you to each of our guests. This edition of Onslow County Today marks our 22nd anniversary, and we are so glad that you've stayed with us all these years. Of course, as we say every time, this is a perfect day to get out and explore your Onslow County Today. We'll see you next time.